Okay guys, hopefully you can hear me. I know you can hear me on this side, but when I get in front, you might not be. But I told you guys I was going to try out these DollarTree seeds just to see if they actually germinate, if they work, you know, what's the story. And so I did a haul on these not too long ago. I'm kind of hold on to this video for at least a week or a week and a half just so we can see if these actually start sprouting, right? So it is from American Seed Company. It says the finest quality since 1897. I do like the information they have on them. I'll show you real quick where I got my inspiration from the Burpee Starter Garden. And these are organic. This doesn't say anything like that. Of course, it doesn't say they're not GMO or anything like that, but these do have that information. This is the Space Saver Salad Garden, and this is made to go into a container. That's why it's kind of cute. This is 24-inch container. My container is a little bit smaller, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And so, you know, it has cucumber, it has radish, lettuce, and beets. Now, radishes take off in about 23 to 28 days. They're ready to harvest from like when you put the seed in. They're really cool. Kids, I mean, it might not be every kid's flavor of choice, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they might not, the radish, I mean, it's a radish. But it's so fun that they grow so fast. But, you know, lettuce takes a little longer, the beets, the cucumber takes the longest. So it's like, you can keep harvesting radishes, though. Once you pull them out, because you put the one seed makes your radish, pull it out, put in another seed, you know? So you're basically going to harvest them all at the same time anyhow. So then by that time, your lettuce and other things will be ready to go. So in honor of that, you know, I bought like probably 25 packs of seeds at the dollar store. They were $1. I'm going to use the cucumber, just like they have one there. There's a muncher type. It's a smaller cucumber. The early scarlet globe radish. And like I said, they don't take too long, 20 to 30 days to harvest. The cucumber takes 45 days to harvest. That's not too bad, actually. That's pretty good. The spinach takes 45 days to harvest. So I'll probably have to replant the radishes so that they all get done in time. And then the peas, I just picked the sugar snap peas. I wanted to try it and see if they work. Those take 70 days, so almost twice as long, but that's okay. So I'm gonna use these 4 items in one planter. This is the planter I'll be using. It's from Home Depot. It's the plastic kind. It's not an actual whiskey barrel. It's a 20-inch resin Napa barrel planter. You know, maybe you can get on sale. I get 10% off with the military discount, but that's that. It does not have holes at the bottom, so I did drill holes with just a drill, just as many as I felt like. There's all around the bottom and then 2 more in the middle. To get this guy prepared, that's it. I'm gonna take the plastic off, obviously. But I do have, let me throw these down, a few rocks here. These are just river rocks that they actually sell at Home Depot too for like $3 or $4 a bag. If you have plenty of rocks around your house, go for that. I do not. This house, I guess because it's in the middle of town, was pretty much cleared out of rocks, right? Okay, so I'm just putting a few down there just to help with drainage. You can put more, like a whole layer, but I just like to put a few. So that's the pot. Here I have Kellogg's Patio Plus. It's like a bright pink and yellow package. I think it has 3 cubic feet in it, maybe 2.5. It's a big, huge thing. I get it at Home Depot. You can find it at most nurseries. It already has some perlite in it, and obviously like just some organic matter. But I like to mix my own soil, kind of. I don't really care. If you have just a whole bag of that and you just want to use that, just use that. Just use whatever potting soil because it's a pot. This one is raised garden bed or raised bed and potting soil is what it's called. Patio Plus, okay, by Kellogg. This is just peat moss, sphagnum peat moss, P-E-A-T-M-O-S-S. This lighter brown. And I'm gonna wet it because it takes a while to wet. So if you were to plant your things and put these little carrot seeds that are so tiny, well, I don't have carrots in this one, but some of the seeds are really small, and when you go to wet it, it's just not absorbing. So we want to get this wet first. But it's about 1/3. Well, I usually make it 1/3, 1/3, and 1/3 of perlite. Perlite is this stuff right here. You can find it at everywhere. Even Walmart sells it in kind of a small bag, but you know, Home Depot sells a big bag for like $20. I got this at my local topsoil place. It's just like not even a mile from here, and it was a huge bag. I mean, I can't even explain to you how big it was for $13, so it was super cheap. But it is bigger than most perlite that I see. I don't know if you can see that. But anyway, that helps with drainage and with keeping moisture. So what I'm gonna do is probably wet this a little bit. Obviously we're gonna mix it really, really well. You see all that poofing up? So I'm gonna get this mixed. I'm gonna wet it down. Not sopping wet, but just wet it down so it's a little moist. And then we're also gonna add in some earthworm castings because I have it. You do not have to use anything like this, especially with the dollar store stuff. Maybe it's not gonna work, but you can always reuse your potting soil. Let's say we give it a week, 2 weeks, nothing's happening. plant something else in there, you know? So it's not gonna hurt. But this is just basically earthworm stuff. It's not gonna hurt anything. You don't really want to add like a lot of fertilizer to radishes, carrots, especially because if they have too much nitrogen, they will act all funny and they'll be all misshapen. They won't be pretty, but they'll still taste fine. So some of these things do take, you know, a little fertilizer, some don't. So this is a good natural fertilizer. It's not gonna hurt anything. So it's a good thing to use, especially since we're mixing all kinds of different things in this one pot, right? So like I said, let me wet this a little bit. I'll show you what that looks like. And it takes quite a bit of water before it even soaks it up. But let me just do this. And what I'm gonna do is just mix it through real well with my hands. I'm taking that peat moss. Look at it, it's like still dry in the middle. So let's mix this all the way through, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put all of this into the pot, and we'll be ready to plant. Okay guys, so I filled this up, not completely, because once these things start growing, I'm gonna put some wood mulch to keep it nice and wet, especially in a plastic tub like this, or any kind of container. You wanna keep that moisture in. So I'll probably put 2 or 3 inches of mulch, and then I'll bring it up to like here. So I think that's good. I can't really tell how much cubic feet or what that was, but it's what it is. And then I'm gonna wet it again real quick. Just a little bit. Before I take my gloves off, I put this one back on. I'm just gonna grab some earthworm castings, and you know, you can read the instructions there. I'm just gonna put a handful in here. Really dark, it looks like really fine compost. Just kind of mix it in a little bit. Okay. And see, everything kind of settled down just because of that. So that's another thing you kind of want to keep an eye out for. I'm going to take off my gloves and I'm just going to use my hands. But you want to plan out your container in that peas are going to grow tall, right? And then we're probably going to put a stake in here somehow, and it could be in the dirt on the ground, like outside of the bucket. It doesn't have to be inside. And the cucumbers, again, will also grow tall if you want to train it that way. So what I'm going to do with my peas, it says you want to sow them about 1 inch deep. So, and then it says to grow maybe 2 by each other at a time, like, you know, 1 inch away from each other. So I'm not going to waste too many, but I'm just going to put like 3 or 4. Let's just put 4 seeds, just in case some don't take off. So I'm gonna put those towards the back. Just digging in with my finger. About 1 inch, right? And then we're gonna cover it up. And the dirt's already moist, right? Okay, so that's that. Those are the seeds, the peas. Oopsie. And whenever you see anything that says heirloom variety, they're usually a little bit better. What I like about this one is that it says all kinds of stuff, that it's tolerant to powdery mildew and stuff like that. And a lot of people say cucumbers are born with powdery mildew. It's just like a white powder. You can take care of it with different things. You can do 1 part milk and 3 parts water and just spray that on there and it'll kill that mildew for you. It's just like a little white powder. I have a bunch of squash and zucchini and stuff like that right now, and obviously it's still early in the season. Nothing has any kind of damage like that, so I'll keep my fingers crossed. But if I do see it, I'll just spray it down with some milk or any other thing I decide to do. And this one says you want to do about 1/2 inch down and sow 5 seeds over hills spaced 4 feet apart. Sow seeds 2 to 3 inches apart and rows spaced 6 feet. You know, they tell you all this stuff because it's not a container, but I'm just going to put a few. It says 1/2 inch down, so that's just 4 seeds. And I'm gonna put them kind of on the opposite side of where I put the peas, right? Because these are gonna grow tall in the back. So just a little hole. And I'll just throw in a couple. And whichever ones take off, that's the ones I will, well, if they take off and they look like, you know, stronger, those are the ones you want. Spinach, I have no idea what size spinach grows in, but it says to sow it 1/2 inch deep. As early in spring as possible, which I'm already kind of missing. Well, spring, the first day of spring was not too long ago, but in California I could have done this earlier. And seed again in late summer, fall harvest. For the best flavor, harvest before flower stalk forms. And then use it when the outer leaves are 6 to 8 inches, it says. So I'm gonna open that up. Oh, I hate that my hands are so dirty. Sorry, guys. I usually like to keep the integrity of these little seed packets, but we're doing this kind of willy-nilly, aren't we? All right. 1/2 inch, 6 inches apart. Since I don't know exactly what this is supposed to look like, I think it's a plant. Because sometimes some things grow in leaves, you know, but I'm just taking 3 of them, and I'm gonna put them around here somewhere. And since these aren't as tall, obviously, as cucumbers and stuff like that, I'm just gonna put them kind of in the back, or in the front, sorry. 1/2 inch down, it says. And I'm just gonna let that be there. And I know with radishes, it's what you want. So radishes, they're just gonna be 1/4 inch. Like basically you're gonna put them on top of your dirt and then just sprinkle more dirt on top of them because you don't have to sow them too deep. Oh my gosh. And these guys, you want them like 1 inch or 2 apart. That way they don't bump into each other as they're growing, so you can get a nice full radish. So these are pretty cute. I've been planting all kinds of radishes. I told you some of them in other videos I've told you guys. They take off really fast. So I know you can't see this. Oh gosh, let me see if I can get this closer without knocking over everything. Okay, that should do it. So since I did the things over here, this is over here, I have all this space. So what I'm gonna do is kind of, like I said, push down a little bit and about 1 inch apart from each other. And just put in 1 or 2. I'm only gonna put 1 in each little hole because these do take off, and then you end up having to throw out the ones where there's too many, which is a bummer. So just like that, and then just barely cover them back up. Like seriously, it's like nothing. You just barely cover them. And I'm gonna put a few more because these are, like I said, they'll grow. They'll probably be harvestable before these other ones even try. You know what I'm saying? Before the spinach or anything else even begins. So let's cover those guys up. And that's it, guys. I just planted 4 different vegetables in here. I'm gonna get some water. Just water a little bit. Since it's already wet, I don't have to do too much, and also we don't want to disturb the seeds that we just planted. So I'm gonna leave this alone. I'm gonna go find a nice, sunny spot somewhere in my garden and give it a week, 10 days, and I'll come back and tell you, you know, what the progress looks like, if anything's sprouting, and it should. Like I said, these guys sprout really fast, 7 to 10 days. It's probably gonna be faster than that. That's the radishes. The spinach sprouts in 8 to 10 days. The cucumber will take 7 to 14 days, so it might be on the longer side, but it is really nice and warm right now, so it might be quicker. And then the peas also 7 to 14 days. So let me come back probably in 7 to 10 days. Maybe I'll do a couple little quick check-ins, and then you'll see the video, right? So hopefully these work. If they do, they were only $1/4 at the Dollar Tree, and you still have plenty of time to plant. So yeah, I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, I was about ready to pick this up and take it to a sunny spot, and we need to mark it or else we're gonna totally mess this up. So I'm gonna try to hold this. So we had our spinach up in front, so I'll put it like here. And then the snow peas were back here. The cukes back here. And early scarlet globe radish here. And the reason I'm putting them the way I'm putting them is so that when I go to put in the sun, this needs to face the sun, right? Because the things that are tall in the back need to be behind the other things that still need to get sun that are going to be in the front. So I have a lot of sunny spots like over there in that corner. I probably put it over there somewhere. It takes a while to get the sun in the morning though. That's the only problem with over there. Man, we can start over there. I'm going to put it over there and we'll see what happens. Okay guys, I'm just going to stay back here for a second because I have music on in the patio. One of the only things that worked at this house when we bought it. We just realized that those speakers up there, even though they're ugly, they work really well. So I have the music on because these guys are drilling away and hatcheting stuff, and my floor's gonna come in tomorrow, guys, and then the cabinets, and then they gotta make the countertops. So hopefully by maybe a week or so we'll be done. But real quick, I told you guys I was gonna follow up. So I've been holding on to this video, which is so hard for me to do because I always like to post things really quick. So this is the all these seeds that we got. Well, not all of them because I got tons of them, but these are the ones that came from the Dollar Tree. And then today I went to Home Depot because I had to pick up some stuff and I had to pick out some paint colors. They have American seeds there, and they're 50 cents. So you can pay 50 cents if you want, or you can pay $1/4 at the Dollar Tree, right? So what was funny is I was planning on just go ahead and doing the video, and then my cucumbers came up, so they are like, hey, don't say that we're, you know, losers over here. So the snow peas just came up. So some of these things have a germination of 7 to 14 days. Today makes it 9 days. So there's the snow peas that are coming up. I see the cucumber just breaking the ground, and it's a nice healthy leaf. I can see that. It's kind of thick. So I'm sure the other ones that I planted in here aren't too far behind. Spinach is just this little guy is coming up for now, but I'm sure if I really look closer, I can probably see more of them, because I'll show you the burpee seeds next, because we also planted the burpee seeds on that same day, just so you have an idea. So this is the early scarlet globe radish, and I already knew this was going to take off. This has been here for days. They popped up probably on the 3rd day. Well, no, that's not true. Not true. I take that back. These popped up on like the 5th day after planting. So they will be just fine. Again, that's the early scarlet globe radish. These are all from the 25-cent seeds. I still just show you real quick. I bought some flowers today, of course, because I went to Home Depot, and I thought they would be cute to put here just so that the garden looks a little prettier. They're going to stay low, so it's not going to be like the biggest thing to block the sun from these guys. But these are some other things that I have going on. I mean, these plants are taking off. I don't know if you guys remember when I showed you. I probably showed them to you at the beginning of the video. They're getting there. Lots of different things, eggplants, squash, zucchini, crookneck squash, different types of tomato, and yeah, those are all tomatoes and peppers over there. But let me get over to the burpee seed that I planted, just so you can kind of have an idea of those. I'll just show you a little bit of my garden as I walk over there. It's just pretty stuff, not stuff to eat. And that's the delphinium I got is going off. It's so pretty. And the hydrangea is doing much better in ground than I did in the pot, I'll tell you that much. So my husband's like, I'm like, it's gonna get bigger. It's gonna fill in this whole space. He didn't really like what I did there. I'm like, there's nothing else there. And the grass is just not growing here anyway. Like, it looks really compacted. So what you wanna do sometimes is change your soil. You add amendments, you add plants, things that, look how wet it looks underneath the plants, because the plant is giving it cover, right? Where it's all dry all around. So you change your environment by doing things like that. So I'm learning a lot about gardening right now. Look at this, another area just like that. So here I put chamomile, and it's barely breaking ground. It's so cute. But this is what I was gonna show you. This is the other pot that we planted the same day. These are burpee seeds. The cherry bell radish are going off. These probably came out in 3 days. They were already coming up. This Detroit dark red beet, yesterday there was one, and I woke up this morning and look at this. I don't even know what's going on. Like, look how many. They're all over, and I was like, how did it go from one to, it's because it was really warm yesterday, I think, so it's just fertile ground for these things to take off. There's a ton of them, so I have to thin them out, meaning you're just gonna pull some out because they can't grow so close together because they're beets. They're gonna get big. Oh my gosh, even from earlier today when I saw that, hey, I'm gonna go make this video, this guy was here, now this guy's popping up. These are the Bush Champion Cukes. And so there's 3 or 4 popping up there, and I'll probably leave, I think I only planted 3 or 4 anyway because I knew it was going to go off. The lettuce, I don't know how to grow lettuce. I need to go watch a video about that because they are popping up, but they're so close together, so I'm going to have to probably thin that out too. And these came up within the last 2 or 3 days. These 3 items, other than the radishes. Radishes always just grow. They're crazy. I mean, there's more coming up. I was surprised these beets just took off too. That's crazy. But this came from the burpee instant garden or classic garden set or whatever, and they came with different things. So we're getting there, guys. So I just wanted to follow up with you. They were a quarter, they all germinated, so you might want to try them out. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.